I thank the gentleman. Madam Speaker, this bill has nothing to do with creating jobs, reducing our deficit, or bolstering our economy. It addresses instead the completely fictitious claim that legislation is needed to prevent federal funding of abortion services. This bill has been falsely advertised as a mere codification of existing law prohibiting federal funding of abortion. I've always opposed the unfair restrictions on federal funding for a perfectly legal health care procedure, but this bill goes far beyond prohibiting federal funding. The real purpose and effect of this bill is to eliminate private health care choices for women by imposing significant tax penalties on families and small businesses when they use their own money to pay for health insurance or medical care. This tax penalty is intended to drive insurance companies into dropping abortion services from existing private health care policies that women and families now have and rely upon. The Republicans claim that a tax credit, this bill claims that a tax credit or deduction is a form of government funding. It follows that tax-deductible charitable contributions to a church, a synagogue, or other religious institutions are also government funding, a position my Republican colleagues have never taken, and that, if taken, would prohibit tax deductions for charitable contributions to religious organizations because they would then be violations of the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. You can't have it both ways. Either tax exemptions or deductions or credits for private spending are government funding, or they are not. If they are not, this bill makes no sense. If they are, then tax-deductible private contributions to religious institutions are government funding prohibited by the Constitution. The power to tax is the power to destroy. And here the taxing power is being used to destroy the right of every American to make private health care decisions free from government interference. This bill is an unprecedented attack on the use of private funds to make private health care choices, and is part of the new House majority's broader and disturbing attack on women's access to health care. After 2 years of hearing my Republican colleagues complain that government should not meddle in the private insurance market or in private health care choices, I am astounded by this legislation, which is so obviously designed to do just that. It seems that many Republicans believe in freedom provided no one uses that freedom in a way that Republicans find objectionable. It is a strange understanding of freedom. There's also provision in this bill that might allow any health care provider or institution to refuse to provide an abortion to a woman whose life depends on that abortion. They could let that woman die right there in the emergency room, and the government would be powerless to do anything. In fact, if the government insisted that the hospital not let the woman die, the bill would allow the hospital to sue the government, and in the case of a state or locality, strip that community of all federal funding until the jurisdiction relented. Despite the fact that Republicans made a big show of taking out language limiting rape to forcible rape, their committee report now says that the bill still excludes victims of statutory rape in order to close a, quote, loophole. That's right, young women who have been sexually victimized are really just a loophole. Frankly, disgusting. A vote for this bill, Madam Speaker, is a vote for a tax increase on women, families, and small businesses. It's a vote for taking away the existing health insurance that women and families now have and pay for with their own funds. It's a vote to elevate the right to refuse care over the obligation to provide life-saving care. It deserves to be defeated. I yield back the balance of my time.